said, it's kind of complicated, but it's likely that we may have more little weird scares like we had with someone on the team being exposed to someone, or even someone on the team getting the virus. And although like 90% of people end up fine, there are risks and chances that some people will end up hospitalized.
All right. Morning.
Mike, how are you today?
Good. How about yourself?
Good.
Nice.
Can't complain.
There you go.
No one
Hey,
listens if I do.
Hi.
Wow, it's the three of us. Okay.
Matt and I have caught up. How about you, Mike? What's going on in your world?
Nothing too much really. Just I was cold this morning. Getting used to
Yeah.
that. And then,
Yeah, no kidding.
Is it really cold out? I haven't stepped out.
In days.
It was 16 this morning when I
Ooh.
when I left.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
guess
didn't
it
know
comes
that.
with the territory.
Yes, it does. I am coming to the office soon, Matt.
Here in Woodbury?
After the meeting, I am, yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Apparently, we need business cards at the Roseville office. I got to bring some over.
Oh
We
yeah,
gotta
that yesterday we were looking, we were like, oh no.
And we have to get
Oh
some
my
new
God.
ones. I don't know if you know this, Mike, but our Woodbury office moved
Okay. Where'd it move to?
163 steps.
Oh, don't hurt yourself there.
Yeah, I still had to carry stuff. So just across the parking lot from where we were. But Jen, we have to get our updated cards for that as well.
Yeah, yep. I'm ordering those. Hi, Amy.
Amy, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just trying to shove some food in my mouth since I've been writing an offer all morning.
Hey, that's not a bad
Hey,
thing.
good for you.
All right.
How are you guys?
Can't complain.
Good.
How are you, Jen?
I did a fun little video about our 163-step move.
Oh, great.
So that's coming out soon. How's that for a teaser?
Yeah. I'm gonna mute myself.
Sounds intimidating.
Well, I didn't have to be in it, so. That's far
Yeah.
less intimidating.
Oops. What-
Howdy. How's everybody doing?
Andy,
Good,
how's
how are
that
you?
hip?
How are you guys doing?
Good.
How's your hip?
It is doing well today. My right, I was just telling Mary, I got a little bit of bursitis in the right hip, but it's not anything like major. But I think part of it is I've been going to physical therapy and I'm working out yeah, I've just been favoring it, so much, but it's fine. Yeah, I feel
Good.
a lot better. Probably got
Excellent.
5% of the pain I had before the surgery on my left.
Wow,
So yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah,
Great.
amazing.
Yeah, it is
Amazing.
amazing. I was shocked how fast you healed, how fast you were up and stuff.
And can you believe it's 4 weeks ago today? I
Wow.
had the surgery. Yeah. So I'm driving since last week, and yeah, it is amazing how fast they can get you up with a hip, with a replacement joint.
Wow.
So Todd calls me the Bionic Man.
There you go.
So how are you guys doing?
Let's see.
Good. Sorry. I didn't know if you were just asking in general to the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Andy, I'll just, since it's kind of dead air, this is a bucket fill and a gratitude for you. We got some beautiful flowers at my grandma's funeral from the office that you ordered. So
yes.
Thank you very, very much. That was really thoughtful. And they were lovely.
I'm really sorry about that. I know that that's a tough time to go through, and we were thinking of you guys for sure.
Thank you.
All right. Can everyone see my screen?
I can.
Yes.
Does it show me admitting people? I have a very small computer.
No.
Okay. Oh, nice. That's good. So, all right, let's get started with some more bucket fills. Anybody else out there? I know we have 14 people on the call. Let's hear from a few people we don't hear from normally. And move quick or else I'll call you out.
Mike, is that your way of saying, Amy, shut up?
No, never.
I am grateful for this market center, being able to be on the ALC this year. I think looking back 6 months, it was really hard. It would have been very hard to be motivated and do the activities that I was supposed to do if I didn't have this market center providing not only direction but support. And this year just really affirmed that I'm in the right place.
Well,
so thank you, everybody.
You know what? I'm going to bucket fill Peter Hiller. He's not on the call, but we have a transaction going, and we had a little bit of a hiccup. And he and I were on the phone this morning, and he came up with a great idea on how to take care of our little hurdle. And I was telling my processor what we were going to do, and she's like, Matt, you've got such great agents. And I'm like, yep, I do. And so Peter's one of them. Well, you guys all are, but I'm just calling out Peter today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm going to bucket fill, both Mike O'Donnell, who steps up every time Heather's out of the office or has something to do. I know Mike's onboarding an agent today, and also Matt Brown. What a dynamo you've been, man, between running that program and now recruiting agents. And you just really have a wonderful, wonderful team. Jordan is really coming into her role in the front desk role, and Heather obviously does what Heather does ongoing, and we all appreciate. So, Jen, you play a definite role in terms of the marketing coordinator for the market center. We just, this doesn't get done if the whole team isn't working, and certainly with me being out and down for a good month, you guys have really stepped up, and I can't say enough about it. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I'm leaving people out, of course, not by choice, but you know who you are, so appreciate it.
Thanks, Andy.
Awesome. Thank you. Anyone else with a bucket filled today?
Can I do an anonymous one? I had an agent call me first thing this morning to fill me in completely on an issue that rose. And I was very thankful because when the other brokerage called, I already knew about it. I was not caught off guard.
Oh, the little things, right?
That's awesome.
That's good.
That's huge.
Nice. All righty. And then again, like I'd like to say, I'd like to bucket fill Jordan at the front desk. I'd call her out to say something, but it would make her nervous. So maybe next time. But today I came in and I sent her a screenshot of a text message and I said, this is what we need to have done before 11:30. And it was all done. So
She made it happen.
I made it happen. So thank you.
All right,
Jordan.
you know what, Mike? Because you said that, we'll keep her another week.
All right, we'll see how it goes.
All right.
All righty. Well, let's get started today. I know we have quite a little schedule going on. Let's see. So let's start with some coming soons. If anybody wants to take the floor, let us know what you have coming, anything that hasn't gone live yet, since we keep this internally. So whoever's ready.
No coming soons. Oh my God, the market's collapsing.
I have.
Oh, go ahead.
I have a property in it's the Payne Phelan neighborhood. It's on Railroad Island, which is like directly east of downtown St. Paul. It'll be listed for $150,000. It's geared more towards investors. Property has really good bones. It will be vacant, sold as is. If you have any investors who are looking for a property in the East St. Paul area, it should be listed in the next, not this Friday, but next. And that's 503 Fred Street.
Thank you, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
We have a buyer need. Cree on our team sold her house and now is experiencing a lack of inventory as a buyer. If anyone has a nicer, like under 375 in Brooklyn Park, Maple Grove, Osseo type school district, maybe Coon Rapids, she really is looking for a house quick.
Okay, perfect.
And what
Anyone?
price range is she in, Lynn?
Under 375.
Okay, got it.
Oops. All right. Anybody else with some coming soon before we move on? All right. And then if Mark is on the call, let me see. Mark Esperson. I don't see him on the call right now, so we'll skip over that one today. And then I know we're going to go over to Jason with the Odd Couple team for a little bit. So Jason, whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. And thank you guys for having me. For those of you who I don't know, I'm Jason Koenig with the Odd Couple team. We have the small office on Grand Avenue. And I just wanted to take a few minutes today to talk to you guys about some things we've been doing in the community to give back as we're approaching Thanksgiving and Christmas. So many of us are wondering what can we be doing to give back to our community or to help those in need. And Heather reached out to me because our team has done several drives over the past few months. We've done a food drive for Keystone Community Services. They're a food shelf in the St. Paul neighborhood. We've also done a food drive for Ronald McDonald House. They have 2 locations in St. Paul at Gillette and Children's, and then they also have their big location in Minneapolis. And currently, we're doing a coat drive for Joseph's Coats, which is off West 7th and helps keep the community warm in the winter. So when Heather asked me, how can the Market Center be involved and how can the Market Center help support the Odd Couple team, in thinking about it, I believe the best way that the Market Center could help was allowing me to speak about what we're doing and teach you guys what we're doing. And if you, whether it's you have an interest in Ronald McDonald House or you have your own organization, you you can maybe take what we're doing and integrate it into your business. So what we've been doing is once a week, every week for about the past 8 weeks, let's just use Ronald McDonald House Food Drive for an example. We've partnered with Kowalski's grocery store to get free plastic bags. And then we've typed up a letter asking our neighbors to donate food, whether it be a can of beans from their pantry or 3 bags of groceries. Every little bit helps these organizations right now. So we put that letter on those bags, and then on Tuesdays, we just go drop those bags off at 100 residents near our building or wherever our farm area is. And on that letter, it's giving them a list of the things we need. And then it's letting them know we'll be back that next Friday to pick up between noon and 4. And what it has generated, each agent on our team's been doing it every week. And what it's generated is for Ronald McDonald House, over $17,000 worth of food. For Joseph's Coats, we've gotten over 750 coats in 2 weeks. So it works. And then one of our individual agents on our team has started doing this in his own farm area, and he's delivering 100 bags a week, requesting this. He door knocked some of them. And for the past 2 weeks, he's gotten between 15 and 17 bags of groceries a week to help someone. So it's just been super successful, and I wanted to share it with you guys. If any of you want to get exactly the templates we've used, I'd be honored to help you out. I'd be honored to help you out and go deliver some bags. The more people we can keep warm, the more people we can feed during these next 2 months and even into 2021, the better. So that's all I have. You guys have any questions?
Great job, Jason. Great leadership.
That's
You guys
awesome.
are doing a great, yeah.
So Jason, I just want to say thank you for bringing it up, because I know that was a big part of when I was talking to Andy and Heather about the ALC, about how like I really felt like we should be digging into our communities more and taking care of them and supporting them that way. So thank you. I'm excited about what you guys are doing, and I'm excited about the impact that our brokerage could have on our communities.
Well, and that's what I'm excited about too. And that's why I told Heather I really felt strongly that I need to talk about it. And if several agents or several teams can do something, and it doesn't have to be any of the 3 organizations that we do, just the more we can have impact in the community right now and support those who are in need, the better. I mean, I'm talking to several different nonprofits, and they're struggling. Ronald McDonald House normally raises several $1 million at their annual gala, and this year they had to do it virtually, so they only raised $310,000 to serve families. So how can we help them bridge that gap? On an average month, Ronald McDonald House gets donations of $76,000 to feed families that are in the hospital, and RMH is committed to feeding those families every month. But now, because people aren't coming in and cooking meals for the Cooks for Kids program, they've got to do it on their own. So that's dipping into their budgets. And how can we, and that's just one story. How can we as a brokerage give our time and help during the pandemic? I think it's just so important. And I'll get off my soapbox now.
And not even just the pandemic. Like if
No.
this year has highlighted anything, we have some serious issues that we need to be diving into, and we as a brokerage could be at like the front of those changes. Our communities need us to step up and be part of the change.
I love you. When are we going to coffee and talking about how Keller Williams Roseville is the change?
Yes, I love it.
Shoot me an email after this and let's at least do a Zoom call and brainstorm.
Fabulous. I love it.
Love it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Yes.
And then going off that, we're also going to be a drop-off location for the Joseph's Coat Drive as well. So you can drop them off over here in Roseville as well. I know we got this image from Amy at the Odd Couple team, so thank you. So yep, from October 5th to December 5th, anytime this office is open till 5 p.m. and staff, so you can drop off coats anytime between those hours.
And if any of you guys want to door knock or drop bags for that and do what we're doing, Nancy at our office is happy to get you all prepped and set up to do that. You just let us know how many bags you need and we'll take care of it for you.
Thank you, Jason. All right, and I just saw that Mark from Minnesota Title popped on, so I'm going to go back to his slide and give him the floor for a little bit. Whenever you're ready, Mark.
Hey, good morning, guys. Sorry I'm a little late. I just had a phone call to take care of.
No worries.
So I just want to tell you, share with you a couple new things that's going on at Minnesota Title. One of them is a RON, or Remote Online Notary. We can help your sellers only currently with that. We have 2 designated closers, Ashley Hadija and Kristen Brown. Kristen's right here in Roseville, in the Roseville office. So she can do that. And what happens is a file gets electronically sent out to the sellers. They go online and they fill out whatever they can fill out without having a notary on at the time. They do some DocuSigns and then it goes back to the closer, and then Kristen would say, okay, now let's finish this closing with anything that needs a notary signature, and then they would do that through a Zoom meeting. So it's gonna be kind of nice moving forward, especially for like elderly people, you know, it's just gonna be so much easier for them. And then we just did a new website. So our new website's up and running. It's great. It's very mobile friendly. You can actually go on there and order title. That old closing form that we used to send out in a PDF, now you can do it right online at our website, and then order title as well. So that'll be nice moving forward. It has all our fees for commercial and residential, and you can do a fee calculator for refinance and purchase for Minnesota and Wisconsin. So that's very nice.
Cool.
And then the newest thing is coming up here soon, to give better communication and more touch points. Our processors will send out an email as soon as we get a file. It's going to go over as a text to the seller or the buyer and the agent. And it'll come in and say, you know, welcome to Minnesota Title. We received your package. Then they can confirm a closing date and time, the same kind of communication form. We'll send out a text that says, here's what you need to bring at the closing. And then also, when we send them the address of the closing, the building we're closing at, we'll also send a picture of the building so they know exactly what the building looks like. So going forward, we'll even be able to order or send them a text with an Alta. So this new communication is going to be great.
Awesome.
That's kind of the new things going on at Minnesota Title currently.
Awesome. Well, thank you for letting us know, Mark.
Absolutely.
All right. Perfect. And then let's head over to some trainings that are coming up. A really important training coming up is our business planning clinic, Thursday, October 29th from 9 to 1. The best thing about this is it's being brought to us by the region. It is 100% free. So there is absolutely no reason that anybody shouldn't be signed up for this. We believe in it so much that anyone who's not signed up currently, put your name in the chat box and Jordan will sign you up today and send you your confirmation. It's from 9 to 1. It's some of the best time you can use to prepare for your next year, and it comes highly recommended. It's going to help you and your team implement systems to set up business for the next year. Learn how to focus your efforts on the key activities that will make a difference in growing it. So the whole goal is to align your thinking with that of the MREA, compare your numbers with the millionaire's numbers, and discover how to improve your performance. Then you can create your 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, and someday goal. This is huge. And for it to be free and just a little bit of your day. So I've seen one person write in the chat, I say we need like at least 15 more. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I was also, guys, even if you're signed up or you're not signed up, for it, make sure that you are using this as we have a number of recruits that are attending this. This is a fantastic recruiting event to invite somebody that you want to, obviously get over to Keller Williams and put into your downline. So take advantage of the ability for us to provide, the tickets, obviously at no cost. So please, definitely use this as a recruiting tool too. Definitely, that's got a lot of value right now.
Totally. And I have some questions coming about whether this is going to be recorded or not. I am not sure, but I will find out and we'll get that back out to you. Perfect.
And just a quick heads up to anybody that's on the call in PC, we will not be holding elementals that day, and we will not be holding coaching appointments that day either, so that everyone will have the ability to attend that clinic. I'll be attending it as well, and it is critical, so make sure you're there.
9 to 1. Yep.
All righty. And then coming up on, let's see, this Friday, we have our Spooktacular Chili Cook-Off and Costume Contest. This is going to be done fully social distanced. There's been a lot of work to go into it to make sure that everybody is spread out as much as possible. Our team meeting room will be set up for everything like this. So come on over Friday around 11. First place for chili is a $50 gift card to your restaurant of choice. Second place is a $25 gift card to a restaurant of your choice. And first place for your costume would be a Halloween gift basket put together by Heather. So come on over on Friday and we'll have some chili.
Sweet.
All right. Let's see. All right. And then we have some November trainings we're just going to run through real quick. So our team meeting on Thursday, November 3rd at 11:30. It's with Living Life to the Fullest with Nicole Middendorf. So, she was born and raised.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Yep. She was born and raised in Minnesota, and she's an author, speaker, and media guest, and she owns Prosper Well Financial. She's a wealth advisor and found the Live It list. If you haven't heard her speak, you'll want to. She's going to go over goal setting, what makes you happy, and what does success mean to you. So definitely one to mark on your calendars.
Yeah, let me make a quick plug for Nicole. This is somebody I told Heather to get on the calendar. I know Nicole personally, and she is a nationally renowned speaker. She speaks all over the country, but she lives here in Minneapolis. She's on, I know, WCCO in the mornings numerous times, speaking on personal financial issues. So I had talked to Nicole about 6-8 months ago about doing something for our market center, and she was definitely interested. She's written a number of books, a handful of different books, and I would definitely recommend taking advantage of this. She's a very, very, very talented woman entrepreneur, and this is a great opportunity for our market center to have her. So if anybody has any questions about her or wants to inquire further, I'd be happy to get you connected to Nicole or answer any questions on that front.
Totally. And a quick correction corner on our side, it is Tuesday, November 3rd. So next Tuesday, 1 week from today. Yep. Perfect. Then our next team meeting on November 10th, after that, we learn how to save your clients money and grow your business with Keller Covered, with special guests Kevin Schwartz and Johnny Giangregorio. So Kevin is a team member at Keller Covered at KWX and will introduce a suite of products and services to you as agents in any role to put you at the center of the transaction. And then Johnny is the KWYP Commander-in-Chief and recent transplant to Austin, and will be sharing his experiences from the consumer experience and how easy the tool really is. And then the team meeting on November 17th, which is jam-packed. We have Paul Miller with Business by Design. Paul will be discussing year-end tax planning ideas and things to consider, including what steps should I consider in planning my taxes before 12/31/20? Should I consider a different business entity? Are there other tax planning considerations I should be thinking about? And many more important things that he will be talking about as well. I attended this one last year, definitely another one not to miss.
Yeah, Todd, this is Todd Haig's personal financial advisor, Paul Miller. So, and I know we have a number of agents in our market center who are using Paul and his firm for their financial planning. So definitely take advantage of that one as well. That's a fantastic event coming up.
And then for sake of time, I'm going to move through the next section a little fast. It's just some updates on command and designs. So let's see, let me just move my stuff around. New in designs, we have buyer and listing presentation updates. So switching things up a little bit, they went through, made some adjustments. So definitely pop into designs and click through those and see how you can utilize those in your business.
And I think there's, there used to only be 2. I think now there's 5 or 7 or something like that for each.
Exactly. And there's also a new dedicated COVID-19 safety page that you can insert into your current buyer and listing presentations. It's going to outline your virtual capabilities, social distancing policies, and contactless transaction capabilities. There'll actually be, there's actually 6 new ones. It just
okay.
Perfect. Let's see. And then you'll see, so here are the 6 different personalizable guides you can go through and click and drag and drop. So definitely go check those out. Also, Designs has made a Halloween update. So if you're looking to make any social media posts or anything like that, feel free, go in there, explore, brand it to yourself. And then they also have a voting safely new designs that were created. So definitely a lot of new available things and designs to check out and utilize. And then new to command, we have opportunity email. So it's going to help you keep clients updated on their transaction activity. You set general email preferences, then choose the opportunity checklist items you want to include on the client update emails. Your clients will be sent a daily email, which will include a report of the opportunity checklist items that you've completed that day.
Cool.
Command emails are now a part of campaigns, so you can schedule them too. So if you wanted to send out 2 or more in one sitting for the next day or the next week, it's now an option and it will save you time. So now we're getting into the realm of scheduling. Let's see. Customized smart plans. You can choose from the global smart plans library, which has been populated with KW agents' favorite custom creations. So take a look and start simplifying how you stay in touch with your contacts. And as you share your KW agent site and app, you can create saved searches for your contacts. The saved searches will then will then appear in the saved section of both your site and app, along with any searches your clients save. You now have the option to set up email notifications for all of these saved searches. So a lot of new stuff. We're going to get some trainings together as we learn this too, so we can be available to train agents up on this. An exciting part for us as leadership, we now have Command MC, which is a new arm of Command. It was built specifically to support team leaders as they build their teams, keep track of new relationships in their recruiting pipeline, and optimize how they run their team and growth. So a lot of new things coming. Team functionality looks like it's pushed back about another week, so we'll keep you posted on that as well. So this would be part of, I read a little fast, I apologize. So schedule and send emails and campaigns. When you can go into the custom smart plans library. And this is a little screenshot of where you would see the saved searches. You'd see it right inside the contact card and command on the right-hand side. And then for us, the Command MC helps us keep track of what's going on in the market center in one centralized location, which is really exciting. And let's see. And then E-Edge, transition to market leader in the marketplace. Let's see what is happening. So as you may know, we've been preparing to send E-Edge off into the sunset by the end of 2020. This fall, KWU and Market Leader will partner to deliver training in support of your successful transition, while helping you determine which Market Leader products you want to continue using through the KW Marketplace. Market Leader Pro and Leads products will not be impacted. In fact, Market Leader will make these tools available via command. You still have plenty of time, but stay on the lookout for information on upcoming training opportunities. In the meantime, you can check out the Command Your Business page for helpful resources. All right. And now what everyone's been waiting for, it's time to stump the ALC. So today we have Amy Grenier, Jane Conkey, and Nick Manser. And we have the lovely Matt Brown, who's going to facilitate this for us. So I'll pass it over to you, Matt.
All right, thank you, Mike. All right, ALC, are you guys ready?
I think so. Let's go.
Okay, I'm going to ask you, I think Heather sent you out a list. I'm actually going to be asking you questions that I just made up here before the meeting. So we're going to throw kind of a curveball at you guys today. And I'm joking. We're going to stick to what we've already talked about. I couldn't help it. I just need to get a little anxiety, you know.
I just got done telling my daughter that I was nervous about this. So thank you very much, Matt. That's great.
Just trying to loosen things up a little bit. Well, thank you all for being here and willing to share your knowledge and expertise as we go through these. So I'm just going to start in the seller objections section. And so objection 1, we need an agent with more experience. What do you think your response would be to something like that? And we can start with, well, we may as well start with you, Amy, if you're ready to go. Since your face is on the screen.
Thank you very much, Matt. So my objection to that whenever I've gotten it has been, okay, I guess the way that I would look at that is if you're going to be taking an agent that has so much more experience, they probably have a whole lot of more clientele. And so they're going to be dividing their time up between those other clients and you, whereas I have a little bit of a lighter schedule, which, you know, we've talked about, but I'm going to be putting all of my passion and dedication into you and working on getting the most for your home that you're selling and making sure that we get your new home for the least amount possible, with it being a positive experience instead of stressful.
Awesome. Thanks, Aim. Jane and Nick, do you guys have anything to add? Same objection.
Yeah, I really liked Amy's answer. If you are brand new or may not have necessarily a lot of sales under your belt.
Yep.
So I have gotten that objection, and you know, this is me 4 years into the business as opposed to brand new, but they say we want an agent with more experience. I would just ask them, okay, you know, tell me more. What do you mean by experience? And depending on what they say, typically experience means that you've been licensed for a certain amount of time, right? They've been licensed for 30 years, you know. And then I lead them down the path of, okay, well, you know, if experience is time in the business, you know, I've only been in for 4 years. So if you're looking for someone with more experience where they've been licensed for longer, I may not necessarily be able to help you, but, you know, I have sold in the past 12 months, I've had 30 sales in the past 12 months. So even though I may not have the number of years of experience, I am very active in the business, and I guess this isn't my first rodeo.
Yep. No, and I love that. I think that's an important thing to point out, because you could be an agent maybe doing this part-time for the past 10 years, and maybe you're closing 2 transactions a year, right?
And whether it's this objection or any others, I want to know if they're talking to somebody else who supposedly has more experience than me. I want to know who it is, and I'm going to look them up right in front of whoever I'm talking about, because like you just said, Matt, 30 years of experience could be 30 years of selling 5 houses a year.
Yep.
Whereas, you know, what would you prefer? Someone who does this very part-time, or somebody who's only been doing this for 4 years but is very active in the business?
Awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing, Nick. Jane, anything else to add to that objection before we move on?
Yeah, I would, for an agent who doesn't have a lot of experience, I would add if you're part of a team. So, you know, I would first acknowledge and validate the question by saying something like, I understand that you want an agent with a lot of experience. and that totally makes sense. Did you know that our team has been one of the top teams in Keller Williams in the area for the past few years? Okay, yes, we've sold almost 300 properties this year, and my experience over the last 4 years, coupled with my team's experience in doing that many sales, given that we collaborate, you're getting the experience of top agents throughout your whole transaction. Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yeah, I love that. And I love the answer that each of you gave, because you hit 3 different points, right? We hit the team aspect. So you're not just getting me, you're getting the entire team, and we're producing at a high level. You've got the experience versus time in the market, like how long you got the experience meaning how many sales you've done versus just the time that you've had your license, right? And then you got what Amy brought up, which was maybe you don't have a lot of transactional business that's done and you're new. Well, then you've got time. These people are going to get your full attention. So that's awesome. Thank you all for sharing that. Okay, again, continuing kind of with the seller objections. The other agents stated they'd sell it for less commission. Would you be willing to reduce your commission, right? Or why wouldn't you reduce your commission? That's going to be the question. And Jane, we can start with you on this one.
Okay. Yeah, I've been practicing this with Shane recently, and one way to handle this, again, I like to acknowledge and validate, and then a tie down at the end. So I would start by just saying, I understand you want to make the most from your sale. Is that right?
Yes.
Great. And that makes complete sense. Most sellers do want to maximize their net. According to the MLS stats, our team that I showed you during the presentation, our team averages getting sellers 2% more than our competition. So with the price of your house, that's around $6,000. Wouldn't it make sense to go with the agent who can maximize your net compared to the competition? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, Jane. Okay. Where do I sign? Perfect, thank you. Nick, anything to add?
Sure. Who's the other agent?
Let's just say it's Chris Lindahl.
Excuse me, I just threw up in my mouth. So, okay, let's back up. So what's more important to you, what you pay me or what you net from the sale of your house?
Well, what I net, I suppose. I mean, I want to get the most, and if I'm paying you less, that equals more money in my pocket.
Yeah. So if I understand you right, you're looking for value, correct?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Okay, very good. So at 6%, my team on average is selling our listings for about 104% of what we're listing them at. So if you're worried about what you pay me, I mean, at 6%, you're still likely to net at least 2% more than the average agent in our market compared to, somebody who's looking to discount their commission. Sorry, hold on just a sec. Oh, you're good. You're good. Where was I going with that? And then I sometimes throw in, in this market, in the seller's market, when inventory is this low, no matter who you list with, I mean, I'll just be honest with you, you're likely to get an offer unless you're grossly overpriced, and you're probably going to be able to sell your house. But not all agents are created equally, and what we do for marketing really impacts what you walk away from the sale with in terms of money in your pocket. So here, sign here.
Yeah, no, I love that, and because you're making the distinction between what someone's paying and what they're netting, and many people may think that all agents are the same, and if that's their thought, then why should they pay someone $6 if someone else does it for $5? So you have to illustrate why they should do that, right?
And I love the phrase too. And I'm sorry, I know we have one other, but you don't want to trip over dollars to pick up nickels. So many people are so concerned about what they're going to be paying their agent. They don't take into consideration what you just said, Matt. Everybody does things differently, and the marketing makes a big difference. Would you rather sell your house for $200,000 and pay somebody $3,000, or sell it for $215,000 and pay somebody $5,000?
Right. It's kind of a no-brainer when you put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick. Amy, do you have something to add?
Yeah. Always. So the easiest way that I can put this is right off the bat, 3% goes to the other agent. So we're left with 3. And then the tax man takes another one. So we're left with 2. So 2%, another percent splits between my brokerage and your marketing. And the last percent feeds my table. So I would be a little bit concerned if another agent is cutting down their percentage. There's one of 2 areas that they're taking that percentage away from, either your marketing or their table.
That is awesome. Where did you get that?
No, I love that.
Oh, come on now. Matt Brown. You know where that came from.
No, that's
It's
great.
from Ignite.
I've always loved that one as well.
It works.
Yeah.
And obviously it's coming from the marketing people.
Yep. And you have to illustrate so the client understands, right? Because they don't know. They don't know how this works. They don't know what we really do. They don't understand how the commission works. They just don't get that stuff. So
right.
Explain it like
They
that.
think we're getting all 6% of that, people.
Yeah.
Seriously. They think we're getting all 6%.
That we're
I would not be driving an Impreza.
Oh.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey, Matt,
Yes.
this is Eric. Just 15 seconds.
Sure.
Another thing I've used is the discounting part of it. Like, this is your biggest investment, and like in your life, your home, generally speaking. And I like to equate it to like a doctor. Like, would you want a discount doctor? Would you want, to, like, this is the biggest decision. Like, why would you want a discount to save a few bucks?
Yeah.
And tie it into the net of it as well. Like, you wouldn't trust your body and your health with a discount doctor.
Correct. That's a great way to put it. And that's what we got to do. The best salespeople are educators. So we have to provide education for these folks so they understand. Thank you, sir, for adding that. Okay, another objection here on the seller side. You said that your suggestion was we price it $249.9. Another agent said they could get $275. So, what is your response to that? Let's start with Amy.
Of course. So this has come up before, right? And it does come up quite a bit. And again, it's just about educating. It's about educating, about the time of year. So if that comes up this time of year, it's easy enough to go into. Well, it's easy enough to go ahead and tell you that, you could list at this price and sell your home. But the problem is it's fall and the market does start to slow down, which means the home prices start to also drop. And we can either list a little bit lower, which will bring more people into your house, which will then give you the potential of more offers, which will drive up to possibly a higher amount. Or if we list at that higher amount, which you are more than willing to list at that price, we could sit on the market for longer, and then people will start to question what's possibly wrong with the house. It's about educating about how easy that it is to overprice a house and have that be a horrible situation for them.
Yep, exactly. And the fact that each day it sits in the market, they're losing money, right? So if you overprice it, not only are you going to have to sit it gets a stigma, and you're gonna have to reduce till you actually get an offer. At that point, you're gonna be fighting just to get market value, right? So let's price it where the price can naturally increase and not price where we're gonna have to decrease. It's just another thought along those same lines.
And again, I know we have 2 agents. I find that it's actually, and I don't mean anything bad by this, I find that it's an older generation that really has a hard time with marketing lower. And that's only because the last time around that they purchased or sold a home is because it was a different concept, right? It was priced really high, and then people will, you know, because they're going to finagle you down. And it's just about explaining that it's a completely different market now than it was 10, 15 years ago.
Yep. And you don't want to miss the mark. Thanks, Amy. Jane, how about you? Same question. Another agent said they get more money.
Yeah, I would, again, acknowledge and validate. You know, I understand that you want to get the most for your property, and most sellers do. As we know, buyers determine what your house is worth. So my strategy is to price your home as a marketing strategy to get the most buyers to notice your home, have pictures looking their best, have your property show its best through our home stylist consult, so that you can net more money. As we see here in the market analysis that I did, there's 2 homes that sat on the market for more than 50 days. And as you can see, the price it went on at, and then it was dropped, and then it sold for even less. This seller or the agent perhaps made a poor recommendation on price from the get-go, which cost the seller money. So let's price your house right to sell in today's market so you can net the most. Does that work?
Yes, it does.
Right.
Thanks, Jane.
You bet.
Nick, same question, same objection. Another agent said they get more money for it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna repeat it back. So another agent said that they could get you more money than what I just said your home is worth?
Mm-hmm, yep.
How?
I don't know. They talked to us about the analysis, and they said this is where they thought we could
did
get.
they go through comparables for you? Did they have a market plan like we just presented to you, showing you, you know, how they're going to get you that amount of money for your house?
Well, not necessarily, but the way they explained it, it sounds likely that we could get that amount.
Okay. Well, without knowing how they explained it, do you see anything? Do you have any questions about any of the comparables that I just showed you? Does everything I'm showing you make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it does. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'm just asking because I'm not sure if there's something that I missed. I spent, you know, at least a couple of hours going through these comparables and everything. And, you know, if somebody else thinks they can get you more money, I guess I would just like to know how, because everything here is showing that your home, if you want to net the most amount of money for your property, you have to be priced at $250 instead of $275. Because, you know, from the info sparks that we saw, as I explained, houses are selling right now on average in your neighborhood for about 101% of what they're being listed at. And that's because homes are priced to attract attention right away, which means that you have to underprice your house in order to oversell it. So at $275, I'm nervous based on these comps here I showed you that didn't sell, that not only are you going to sit on the market, but you're going to end up taking a price cut that's going to cause you to end up selling for less.
Perfect.
By the way, who's the agent that told you should list at $275? I'd like to see their stats and show you that they've sold 6 houses in the past 14 years.
It's Karen Collins.
Ah, yeah. Well, I mean, there's honestly, and I keep asking who it is because every appointment that I've gone to and every appointment that I've lost, because somebody said they can list it for $30,000 more for 3.5%, those are the agents 9 out of 10 times that have been in the business for 25 years and do 5 transactions a year. They're not, they don't keep pace, or they don't keep their finger on the pulse of the market. They don't understand how it works, or at least they don't explain it well.
No, those are great points. I mean, I think educating them on what scares you about listing it there is you feel it's overpriced, and here's what's going to happen. It'll sit there for a couple weeks. We'll drop it down after 2 weeks, 10,000. Now we're only 15 grand overpriced, and then we'll wait a couple weeks and drop it down another 10. Now we're 5 grand over. Now we'll drop it down just below market value, and we'll get an offer 5% below market value. Now we have to fight. This is what scares me. We got to fight to get up to market value, and we risk losing you thousands of dollars by doing that. So great job, everybody. Appreciate that. Okay, let's move on to pricing objections. And actually, I'm gonna move at a quicker clip here. We've got about 8 minutes left. So pricing objections. We need a certain amount of money from the sale to buy our next home. Or you could also look at this objection as, we just put in a new kitchen and bathrooms. We spent about $80,000 in this remodel. We need to get that $80,000 back. Nick, you can start.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I mean, depending on the situation, there's a few different ways that I would answer this. I think if you tie in the price objection to another agent said they could get more money, I think that it all depends on your lead up to the pricing
conversation.
Your pricing conversation, where, when I sit down with sellers, and this isn't what I'm saying, this is just what I do, but when I sit down with sellers, aside from going through comps, I'm also showing them info sparks, and I'm showing them, at their price point, what they're likely to sell at, so they have an idea of how my marketing plan works. So if they need a certain amount from this sale to buy their next home, and they need to maximize the proceeds in order to oversell a house in this market, guaranteeing you that you get the amount that you need to underprice the listing to get as many eyes on it as possible, and hopefully drive that price up and get people to bid. That's I guess how I'd answer that part. The other part of that is you go into Keller Mortgage and you say, you get a good rate and you get this and that. That's going to make it more affordable to buy your next home.
Yep, and they can use that. Yes, you could also use that to advertise for the listing, right?
That's probably going to be the worst response out of the 3, but.
You did great, Nick. Amy, do you want to go next?
Sure. So I guess with that comment, then I'm going to start to ask questions. Because the thing that you need to know about me as an agent, A, I'm not married to having the transaction. B, I'm also not obsessed with the fact that if it's not necessarily the right situation for the person to move, maybe it's just not the right situation for the person to move.
Right.
So if they're just looking to sell because maybe they want a different home, they put in a new kitchen, I would start to ask questions and I would explain why, because maybe this year isn't exactly the year that they should be moving. Maybe they should think about waiting another year. Maybe they should pay more down on their mortgage, talk about, I'm sorry, my dog is going to bark. Maybe talk about developing that relationship about if you pay $25, $50 extra for the next couple of years into your payment, it's going to bring your, what you've paid into your house,
bring down the principal. Yep.
Yeah, because you have to be realistic with them, right? You can't set them up for disaster. I would rather be realistic with somebody and lose the transaction than I would to lie to them that they could actually get that much for their home and then have this horrible experience for them. I'd rather be honest. If they decide to go with the horrible experience in 2 years, maybe they'll call me to sell their house because I was realistic with them. So I don't really have a set script on what I would say to that, because I would start to ask questions and kind of dissect it, and then really just be honest with the fact that I am not married to making you sell your home. That's the last, I literally told clients last night, because the buyer was getting stressed out, that I'm not married to them purchasing a home and selling their existing one if it's going to stress her out. I want the best for her. And if it's waiting until a later time, then I would rather wait till a later time. I don't pressure my clients if it's not a good situation for them. So I guess I don't know if that's good or not. So there you go, Nick. You're not the worst response.
That was good. And that kind of made me think too. Sometimes you go in there and it isn't the best time, and it's still good to get in front of somebody and show them where they stand in terms of their equity, because that might be a listing next year, 2 years from now, and that's somebody you can follow up with. So it's not necessarily a negative if they're not ready to sell right then.
That's correct. And
same with buyers. If buyers don't have enough money to purchase, like, go over everything with them, you guys. I can't even believe how many people are like totally caught off guard by the fact that they're going to have to, like, even a low priced house nowadays, they're going to need at least $20,000 going to the closing table if they're paying their own closing costs. And let's be realistic, people not paying their closing costs right now are not winning houses. So, I mean, that may change. We are in fall. So, you know, just be honest. Don't set your clients up for a horrible situation.
Well, you know, and that's a big one, is we have to tell the truth, right? And sometimes the truth is uncomfortable, and sometimes the truth might make a potential seller client upset, right? But you do the client no good if you just say, okay, you need a certain amount, we'll just list it at that price then and see what happens, right? You're going to end up costing them thousands and thousands of dollars. So I appreciate what you guys have been saying there, is even if it's not right to list it now, right? Maybe in the future, but now is not the right time for them because of X, Y, and Z, you know. Jane, same question to you.
So I think I would dissect the situation a little bit and say, you know, I understand that you put a lot of work into your home and you spent $80,000 on renovations. Let's talk to a lender to see exactly how much you do need for your next purchase and what that would look like. Through Keller Mortgage, at the price point you want to buy at, that would be about $7,000 in lender fee savings.
Yep.
Plus interest rates are very low. So let's figure out exactly what you would need from your home to move to your next house. Then, you know, looking at these comps, you'd like to price your home at 300. When I look at the houses on the market priced the same way, these three also have updated kitchens and bathrooms. Plus they have an additional bedroom and an extra garage stall. So if you were a buyer in today's market looking at your house compared to these other two or three, which one would you choose?
Yeah, great point.
So yeah, so let's make sure to know exactly what you do need and see if we can get the numbers to work so that you can be closer to your daughter's high school by fall. Does that work?
That works. And I love what you did there. You brought them back to what is their goal. So when you know their goal, because you've done a good needs analysis or listing presentation with them and understand, you can help them regain proper perspective, right? Don't lose sight of something. Let's keep our eye on the line, our eye on the ball, and get to the finish line, right? And we'll get through the rest of it. Great job, everybody. Well, look, we're at 12:30. Thank you all for being willing to be a little uncomfortable, be on the spot a little bit. You all did a fantastic job, and it's most appreciated. So have a fantastic day, everybody.
All right, thanks.
Take care.